Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the channel, and I'm here to, talk about Game 2 of 3 between the Chicago Cubs and the, Philadelphia Phillies. Chicago Cubs, they beat the Phillies tonight 8-4. It was a pretty back-and-forth game until, the Chicago Cubs ran away with it, in the 6th inning. Or they took the lead back, and then they, ran away with it in the 8th inning, adding 3 runs to really put this game away. Thing is with the Phillies, man, they're just an inconsistent team right now. Like, they got lucky to win yesterday. I know they had outplayed them. They had a lot of hits, but they got lucky to win that game. Bunch of bone double play. Like, they left so many runners on. They got lucky to win that game. And pretty convincing win by the Chicago Cubs here. In 2024, in 162 games, they had 5 games with 4+ homers. 2025, so far in 67 games, they've had 8 games with 4+ homers. I believe they hit 4 tonight. And the offense have kind of been struggling lately, like from the Tigers series. In the first game of this one, they kind of struggled. But they really stepped up today. 13 hits for 8 runs. They're able to hit, I believe, 3 solo homers off Mick Abel. Well, he done a good job till this outing, but he done a good job. He had the bases loaded, and he got out of it. Got out of the bases loaded jam to keep the score 3-2, which they got the lead back. He gave up 3 solo homers, so wasn't as much damage as it could have been for Mick Abel. Colin Ray goes 4.1 innings. He gave up 7 hits, 4 runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts. He come out with 2 outs. I believe, came out of the game with 1 out. And Ryan Brazier come on. He just come off the injured list recently, I believe. Former Dodger right there. He gave up that hit that scored both the runs that go to Colin Ray. But then he struck out the next 2. So in that inning, after the Phillies had took the lead, their starter Mick Abel, like I said, wasn't great, but it could have been worse. 4 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts for Mick Abel. So I thought he done a good enough job for them. But thing is, it's with their bullpen, man. It's just, my lord. Like, Tanner Banks is 3.7 ERA. I mean, that's not horrendous, but, like, not great out of the bullpen. Tyler Walker, trying to put him out of the bullpen. See how that went. Even a 2-run homer that got them back trailing. Some people were kind of overly critical of Mick Abel, in my opinion. He was fine. Shuts out Tucker with the bases loaded. Tom Walker and Joe Ross selling the game. This experiment with him isn't going to work. You're up against one of the best teams in the league, and you proceed to use Tanner Banks, Tom Walker, Joe Ross, and Carlos Hernandez because they had to. This bullpen and the people that put it together are just unserious, man. And Joe Ross and Tom Walker combined for 2.1 innings, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 5 runs. This is where the lack of bullpen depth just kills them. Like, Mick Abel battled, and the offense finally scored some runs just for Taijuan, Ross, and Hernandez in a close game against the league offense. It's just not sustainable. I don't know why Tom Walker's still on this team. It is what it is, man. Using him out of the bullpen's hilarious. I mean, at least Tanner Banks didn't give up a run. At least he went a clean inning. Tom Walker and Joe Ross couldn't do that. It's just when your bullpen's like this, man, you're not going to be taken seriously as a contender. It's just, it is what it is. They got to make a move near the trade deadline to get some bullpen arms. Because you cannot have this be your bullpen in the postseason. But yeah, as for the Cubs, impressive win, man. 13 hits, 8 runs. Their offense finally, kind of a little cold spell. They finally broke out. in this one. 13 hits, 8 runs. He scored 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 2 in the sixth, and then 3 in the eighth to break the game open and improved 41-26, get their 41st win. And the bullpen's been really impressive. That was kind of the thing, you know, start of the season. Like, I was critical of their bullpen, but their bullpen's actually been pretty damn good. They have like a 1.01 ERA over a certain stretch of games, so they've been really good. So Ryan Brazier comes on for .2 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts from Ryan Brazier. Then you go to Caleb Thielbar, 1 inning, no hits, no earned runs, no walks, and 1 strikeout for Caleb Thielbar. His ERA is now at a 1.85. He's been great. I think he's now had 13 or 14 scoreless appearances in a row. Pretty impressive there. And then you go to Brad Keller, 1 inning, no hits, no earned runs, no walks, 1 strikeout for Brad Keller, who has a 1.99 ERA. So, their bullpen's been really freaking good. Ryan Presley, 1 inning, 2 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Even Ryan Presley's been somewhat solid. He's actually been really solid since the start of the season. His ERA was as high as 6, and he's lowered it now below 4, so he's been much better than he was. And Chris Flexen, 1 inning, no hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, no strikeouts for Chris Flexen. So, perfect work from the Philly not from the Philly bullpen, but the Chicago bullpen, leaving up 3 hits and no runs. And their offense, like I said, was fantastic. 13 hits, 8 runs. Ian Happ, 2 for 3, 2 walks, 3 RBIs, had a solo homer, and a 2-run homer. 2-homer game from Ian Happ in this one. Hit 2 homers in this game. Kyle Tucker was 1 for 4, walking an RBI. Seiya Suzuki, 2 for 5, an RBI. Pete Crow, 0 for 5. Swanson, 2 for 4, a walk and an RBI, had a solo homer. Michael Bush, 1 for 5, and an RBI, also solo homer. Nico Horner, 2 for 4 and a walk. Matt Shaw, 1 for 5, and McGuire, 2 for 4 and an RBI for Reese McGuire. So, really, contribution all the way through this lineup besides Pete Crow. The Cubs had just such a great lineup from top to bottom from their lineup. Even Matt Shaw's doing fine, hitting about 250, and his defense is pretty good as well. And how many homers they hit? 1, 2, 4. Yeah, they hit 4 homers in this game, teed off on the Philly pitching. Philly dropped to 38-29. Besides that win yesterday, they just have not been very impressive. Even that win really wasn't all that impressive. You know, they got swept versus the Phillies. I just don't think it's a championship team. Like, if they improve the bullpen, maybe, but not right now. So, yeah, Mick Abel, 4 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Tanner Banks, 1 inning, 1 hit, no earned runs, no walks, no strikeouts. But Tyon Walker, 1 inning, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, and 1 strikeout for Tyon Walker. Then you go to Joe Ross, 1.1 innings, 2 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts for Joe Ross. And his ERA is 5, and Tyon Walker is a 3.69. He's just been all over the freaking place this year. He's just not good. And then Carlos Hernandez, 1.2 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, no walks, and 1 strikeout. And yeah, his ERA is 5 as well. So that is the state of the Philly bullpen. They had 10 hits, 4 runs, 2 in the second, 2 in the fifth. That was it. For their offense, Trey Turner, 1 for 4 and a walk. Kyle Schwarber was 0 for 5. I believe he struck out, 3 or 4 times. Alec Bohm, 3 for 4, 2 RBIs for Alec Bohm. Castellanos, and the swing and the drive. 1 for 4. Stott, 0 for 4. Real Muto, 2 for 3. Kepler, 1 for 4, 2 RBIs, had a 2-run homer. Kemp, 0 for 4. Marsh was 2 for 2. He went out of the game with an injury, and Johan Rojas replaced him. He went 0 for 2. So, scoring summary, top of the second, Swanson homers. Then the bottom of the second, Kepler homers. Top of the third, Hap homers. Top of the fourth, Bush homers. Bottom of the fifth, 2-run single from Alec Bohm. Top of the sixth, Hap homers. And then the top of the eighth, where they break it open, McGuire doubles, Tucker singles, and then Suzuki with another single to make it 8-4 your final score. So 8-4 Cubs win. A rubber match tomorrow at 1:05 p.m. So Phillies took game 1. The Cubs bounce back and take game 2. The pitchers tomorrow will be Bam Brown and Jesus Luzardo. Jesus Luzardo's really been struggling. He had a really damn good start of the year, but he's really been on a struggle bus. So we'll see what happens there, but that's all I'm saying. Next time out. Peace.